Hi Richie.
Hi Trev.
What kind of shape are you in tomorrow night, Rich, with injuries and so on?
As I mentioned last week, we had an illness in the camp, so we still have one or two that are struggling with that, Trev. Brian Whitmarsh will be touch and go for tomorrow night, I'd say. So we're hoping that if he's not available tomorrow, that he'll be okay for Monday. But there's one or two others. Ollie has been down with it as well. Ollie Byrne and that as well. So look, we've also got news of Ali Gilchrist is out for the rest of the season as well. So which is a disappointment because Ali was a big player for us last season and he just never quite got going this year with injuries and so on. But he's got an Achilles injury that will keep him out for the rest of the season. So that's disappointing. Conor Draining's been back in training from his illness, but again, I don't think he'll be ready for tomorrow night. He got a bad dose of it, so look, he's going to probably miss tomorrow night.
Yeah, you got to win anyway. Last time out, Richie, but tomorrow night's obviously a much bigger proposition against one of the best teams in the country, I suppose, Derry.
Yeah, Trev. Look, they've got talent all over their squad. They've got league winners, cup winners. They've got lads that are really, really talented players, and they've done well this year. Probably, they probably looked at it that they could have been a little bit closer to Rovers with the squad they had, but they've done really well, in a lot of games this year. And we know we're going to be up against a really top team tomorrow night.
Yeah, you obviously are. We still believe, I suppose, which mathematically you could avoid the relegation promotion playoff. It's like the 3 cup finals on a row, isn't it?
Look, I'm just looking at tomorrow night, really, Trev. At the moment, I can't look too far beyond Derry, because if I take my eye off the ball there a little bit, it'll be, we'll be punished. But look, as I said, from since I've come in and all that, is that I just want performances to be kind of just more energetic. There's more structure in defence and in attack and stuff like that we can compete against these teams. So we've got big games, and it all starts with tomorrow night.
Yeah, what to expect, obviously, but with another big crowd, I suppose, behind you, Rich. And I think it's possible you've pulled off some big results this year already. So I suppose there's no reason why you can't pull off another big result tomorrow night.
Yeah, look, the fans have been brilliant this year, Joe. Obviously, it's been a year of disappointment, in large parts of the season and stuff like that. But as you say, we've been good against all teams, really, in certain rounds, and it's just that we just needed to put a bit more consistency in our play and in our performances, to get more results. But look, hopefully we can finish the season strong.
Yeah, just in terms of where you are and what you need, Rich. Like, how will you approach the game tomorrow night? Like, will be cautious, or is it at this stage you have to have a goal? You can't afford to drop any more points.
It's a mixture of both, really, Trev. I think that if you go there and it's from minute one and you're careless in terms of your organisation and stuff like that these players will hurt you. They've got quality players. Obviously Michael Duffy's obviously one of the best players in the league, and you look at Patchin's form in recent weeks, and I could keep going with the list of players, really, but look, they've got the players to hurt you at any moment, so we just need to be really concentrated, when we're defending, and obviously, express ourselves when we're attacking.
Yeah, obviously 2 huge games in the space, of the bank holiday weekend, so how will you use the squad in that regard, Reg?
We'll obviously, look, I think we're going to be making changes anyway between the 2 games. Look, I'd imagine tomorrow night will be a very physical game, in terms of you're probably going to be coming down here to a heavy pitch as well, with the rain that we've had in recent weeks and stuff like that, so it's just managing the bodies and probably seeing Saturday morning where fellas are at and stuff like that, so we just need to make sure that everyone's ready, for the weekend, because they don't come any tougher than Derry and Shamrock Rovers over a couple of days, so look, it's going to be a challenging weekend for all of us, but look, we're excited by it. These are the games that, when we were involved last year in the title run in for the first division, that you want to play in, so yeah, we're all excited for the weekend ahead. Yeah,
just the last one for me, Rich. Like, obviously we always speak about momentum, and if you could get a strong finish to the season, and if you are in that playoff, at least you've that to go on, that you a bit of momentum going into that playoff, a bit of confidence among the group, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Look, for us, it's about, as you say, getting confidence. I think Sunday will give the group confidence as well. You know, as I know it wasn't the prettiest on the eye and stuff like that, but look, you're not going to be great every weekend, and for me, it's about the way we managed the game the second half to keep a clean sheet. You know, we haven't kept many clean sheets throughout the season, so that was a positive as well, and for us to score the goals when we did in that as well. You know, so look, hopefully we'll see an improvement again tomorrow night. You know, and look, it won't be from lack of effort anyway. I know from the group there, you know, that they're buying into what we want, and you know, they're going to work hard for the team, you know, and more importantly the club and the city.
Okay, good luck with it on Friday evening, Rich.
Thanks, Trev. Cheers.
Neil or Paul, do one of you want to jump in there?
Hi Richie, how's it going?
Oh yeah, right.
Good yourself?
Not too bad, Neil.
Can I just ask you, it's not only the 2 games I guess in 3 days, like it's 3 within a week against 3 of the top 4 sides. How difficult or how challenging is it to kind of create that momentum Trevor mentions with that kind of fixture list?
Look, it's probably the biggest challenge you're going to have, you know, over 7 days. The players that or the teams that we're going to be playing are going to be in that top bracket, you know. So for us, it's about obviously looking at tomorrow night, taking care of tomorrow night, seeing how the bodies are for Saturday, Saturday for training, and then into Monday's game. But yeah, look, Bose is a distant thought at the moment, you know. Like it's just a here and now, you know, and seeing how fellas are, you know.
And did you notice kind of a lift in confidence from the UCD result, like you said, a clean sheet and 3 points? Could you feel that within the group that they got a lift from that?
Yeah, look, to be honest with you, I felt this. I'm feeling it every day. I'm smelling it every day from them, because it's there. You know, you can see it in training, and I think the performances against Pats as well. You can see it is that, you know, they're putting it up to Pats. You know, I think they're being aggressive, you know, in certain parts of the game and so on, and creating chances. And another day you might be coming in here with you could be in a cup final, and you know, we could be having different conversations and stuff like that, you know, because performances haven't been bad in the last couple of weeks, you know. And the one on Sunday was a little bit different, but the pleasing thing for me was the clean sheet and the 3 points, you know.
Sure. And when you kind of take charge at this stage of the season, there's obviously a limit to what you can do. You can't change the squad and like that. Like, what can you do, or what have you done differently to try and get the response that you want?
I'm trying to change the mentality small, but look, I'm a Cork man, and obviously, you know, this obviously hurts, you know, being in this situation and that, whatever. But I've always feel that Cork City teams have always been their best when it's been Cork City against the rest of the world, you know, and that's the kind of mentality, the siege mentality I want to bring in here. And I think the boys have bought into that a little bit as well, you know. And like, when we have that connection between the players and the fans, this club's a different animal altogether, you know. And it's just trying to get that back a small bit, is that when the crowd come in tomorrow night and they see a team that's giving everything for them, you know, I think that's the minimum I can ask for the lads here, you know. And that's the minimum I want from them, you know. Look, if we're beaten by a better team or more quality or whatever, like, then so be it. But look, for us, it's just about putting in performances that the fans can go away and say, you know what, then them lads are giving everything for the club, you know.
And presumably that's an easy sell for the locals. Does it require a bit more work to get the players who've come in from outside to understand that, or?
Yeah, a little bit, because sometimes they come from, obviously a few lads from different countries and that as well, but like, they won't be long hearing it around the place and people reminding them how big of a club this is, you know, because, you know, the history we have and all the rest of it. And, you know, I talked about cup final there earlier and stuff like that. We were taking that for granted a few years back, you know. It was like the done thing where we were going to the Viva. That's how big it was, you know, and stuff like that, you know. So for us, it's about, you know, main thing obviously staying in the league and hopefully getting back. It'll take a little bit of time, but hopefully getting back to those days again, you know.
Right, thanks Richie.
Cheers.
Richie, how are you, Paul from the Mirror? How are you?
Hi Paul, how are you doing, alright?
Grand, thanks. Just touching on what you said there to Neil, just that kind of mentality of Cork City against the rest of the world, rest of the country, or I can't remember the phrase you said there, but what is it about that kind of mentality that has been effective? Because other Cork City managers down the years, over the decades, they've kind of tapped into that as well.
Yeah, you just feel it. You just feel it a little bit different down here in terms of, let's say, you know, as I keep mentioning, the connection with the fans is that like, you know, Rebel County, so on, whatever, you know, that we're all in it together, and that, you know, first and foremost, yes, people want to see flair players, they want to see quality on the pitch and stuff like that, but the minimum requirement down here really is that fight and that desire for the shirt, and that you're playing for Cork City, you know. So, you know, I think fans want to see that first and foremost, and then obviously quality and all that comes out as well then afterwards, you know.
Is that something unique to a kind of a one club, you know, a one club, one city type operation?
Yeah, it is. I suppose like Derry would be similar, I suppose, as well. You know, like that. You know, and you think about it, is that, you know, the interest around here. You know, like you can't go to the shops here without anyone, you know, talking to you about the club and so on. And it's, you know, it's everywhere. You know, it's like it's until you're living it down here and you see it firsthand. I think that a lot of people are taken by surprise, you know, when they join the club, how big it is, you know.
And you've been around the club a long time, but in terms of this kind of role that you've stepped into and a little bit earlier in the season, do you personally sense that is it a big burden on you? Not a burden, that's not the right word, but a big kind of weight on your shoulders, you know, that whole goldfish bowl almost mentality?
I see it as an honour. Do you know, I see it as an honour, and even no matter how difficult the times are this year and stuff like that I wake up in the morning and I'm coming into this job, and it's the best job in the world in terms of, you know, what I want to do and so on. And I know the history of the club. I know the people that have put the club where it is and stuff like that, and, you know, and the great players and managers that have been here, you know. So this is an honour for me to even sit here, you know, doing this type of stuff, and tomorrow night going out in front of that crowd and representing them, you know. So that's what it is for me, you know, every day. And I just give it my best, and if my best isn't good enough, then so be it, you know.
And just finally for me, I know you've got your games coming up over the next few days to focus on, but just in terms of due diligence, do you have to keep an eye on the First Division playoffs in case you are coming up against one of these teams, you know, the playoffs that are on this week?
Yeah, of course you do. Look, I was at the game Tuesday night in Wexford, and I'll be at one of the games at the weekend as well. Like you're going to have to do that. In football, you have to prepare for all scenarios and that as well. Yes, my full focus is on Friday night and Monday, but still, you're still going to have to do the work and see what those teams are about and how they're playing and so on, you know, because they're playing in high pressure environments at the moment. Those games are like the atmosphere down Wexford on Tuesday was great, you know, and it's they're high pressure games at the moment for the clubs and so on. So look, it's good to go down there and feel the atmosphere and see it firsthand, you know.